Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. Well, the Real Housewives of Orange County are back and possibly better than ever. I wasn't sure at first. This episode started out a little rough, but they really kind of made up for the slow start. So let's just get into it. This is the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 13, Episode 1, The Next Chapter. We start with Tamra, and we are at her house. She's with Eddie, and they are moving into another house. Now, I never realized this before, but that was Eddie's house. But apparently, it never really felt like home to Tamra, so they're moving into another house. This is the rough part. We've all kind of heard about this in the news. Eddie has AFib and he has to have heart surgery. So it's upsetting and sad, and Tamra's crying to her mom, and it's just like, ugh. I hate when things get too real and too heavy. And for Bravo to start the whole season off like this, I just started thinking, oh, what are you doing, Bravo? This is not a good sign for how this season's gonna go. Oh, but I needn't have worried, because then we had the ropes course. But that's not until later. So now we move over to Vicky and Steve at Vicky's house, and Vicky wants Steve to move in, but she's talking to him about Shannon, and she said, Shannon's having a tough time. And Steve is like, what? Because David's moved on and he has a new girlfriend. Oh, that. Yeah, that, Steve. Steve is like just so matter of fact. I think he has no emotions. I don't know if it's the cop in him. And then she goes on to tell him that Brooks is getting married next weekend. Oh, quick side note. I don't know what's going on. Vicky's face. And I know this isn't even the final face she's getting, because we see that later on in the season. She looks puffy. She looks chipmunk-cheeked. And I don't know. If I had any one piece of advice for wealthy women, it is to lay off all the procedures on your face. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look natural, and it doesn't look good. Or I should say, it rarely looks good. The only thing I could imagine having done is Botox. If I felt like I could afford to like keep up with the Botox, I think I might do that. I get the temptation, you know, and like I would do something with my neck. There's a lot of stuff I would do too, but I think I've seen enough facelifts to know that more often than not, it is not going to turn out the way you thought. I just think it's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down. So that's my advice to wealthy women. Like, they need my advice. Anyway, so Vicky says to Steve, yeah, Brooks is getting married next weekend. And Steve, who's, you know, sharp as a tack and understanding feelings, says, oh, good for him. Thanks, Steve. And Vicky said, well, I pity the girl. And Steve goes, why do you care? And Vicky said, I don't. Yeah, right. That's why you brought it up to your new boyfriend. I mean, listen, Brooks was a monster. And I can't imagine what he would do to top the cancer scam storyline. But I'm not going to lie, there's a part of me that would rather have Brooks on the show than Steve. I mean, the cancer storyline, that season was epic for Orange County. We had Megan King Edmonds at her best when she was the detective figuring out that Brooks did not really have treatments. He didn't go to the doctor. She was calling hospitals. I mean, it was the best Megan has ever been. It was just a spectacular season for the OC. And honestly, even if Brooks came back, he couldn't top that season. So it's probably fine that he's gone. And of course, I'm happier for Vicky. But as a viewer of the show, I would love it if there was a skeleton in Steve's closet that came out. Sorry. Okay, back to Tamra. We see her new house and it looks very nice. There's this giant booth in the center of the kitchen that looks like it's going to have maybe countertop all around it and seat cushions. It looks like it's going to be cool, but right now it just looks like this monster in the middle of her kitchen. The problem is it's got 28 more days of construction, and they moved in because Eddie had to have his surgery. I'm not totally understanding the logic behind that, because if he has to come home and convalesce while all the pounding is going on in the house, I can't imagine that's going to be a good thing. Now we see Shannon in her new house with the girls, and Shannon has moved from a 14,000 square foot house to a 4,000 square foot house. Oh, cry me a river. 4,000 square foot house? Sorry, I don't feel sorry for you. It's gorgeous, by the way, and it's like a 3-car garage, and I mean, I don't know if she was trying to garner sympathy, but I doubt many people are going to feel sorry for her. Anyway, she's in the kitchen with the girls. She's making dinner, and one of the twins, Stella, I think, broke her phone, and she said, well, that's the second phone screen you broke in 2 weeks. You're going to have to use your Christmas money. And Stella said, well, I'll just get Dad to pay for it. And Shannon's like, turns to her. We're not going to go there. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Bad move, Stella. Then Sophie comes in. She's the older daughter. These girls look so grown up. I can't believe it. I guess the twins are 14 and Sophie is 16. So Sophie comes in the room. Shannon said something to her like, what's that trip you were talking about? And Sophie said, my church group is planning a trip to Haiti and she wants to go. And Shannon said, did you ask your father? And she said, well, not yet. And Shannon's like, I don't know, Sophie. You know I'm a worrier. And Stella goes, I'm a worrier too. And Shannon goes, oh, you don't want her to go either? And Stella goes, oh, no, I don't care. That was Stella's best line so far. Now we see Kelly and her daughter, Jolie, who also looks so grown up to me. I can't believe it. We hardly saw her last season. We saw her the very first season Kelly was on. I think we saw more of her, and she seemed like a little kid to me then. Now, I guess she's in 6th grade, but she looks older to me. And Kelly also has downsized. She and Michael sold their beach house for $5 million, and now she's just in a little 2-bedroom home. But unlike Shannon, Kelly loves it, and Kelly is loving life. Oh my gosh, dating is so easy. Yeah, it's like fishing with dynamite. It's so easy to date. Okay, maybe for her. Next, we see Vicky meeting Shannon for breakfast at this place. I don't even know, was it a restaurant? Did you guys see these chairs they were in? It looked like a furniture store, or like they were in the lobby of a hotel, or it didn't look like a restaurant because it was so awkward. Like then when their food came, she set it on a table sort of behind these 2 easy chairs that Vicky and Shannon were in, and I don't know. It's one of the things I hate about barbecue, although there are a lot of things I hate about barbecues. I don't like to eat outside, period, but one of the things I hate is that I don't want to hold a plate on my lap or in my hands when I'm trying to eat. I would like a table, and if you are in fact a restaurant, provide a table. What is the matter with you? What are you trying to do? Anyway, it didn't seem to bother them. And there, of course, we're talking about David dating again. And Shannon said she's 20 years younger. And, but she's fine. She's getting over it. I'm good. I'm good. And she's lost 10 pounds and she's feeling life and she's got a new attitude and she's feeling good about life. But you know Shannon, she's like constantly trying to put this good vibe out there, an image, and then 2 seconds later she's like dissolving into tears. So I wish her the best. I love Shannon, and I do hope she's like getting over David, because David was a slug. If you guys watched my recaps last year, you know that I had an episode where I compared David to Eeyore. Yes, dear. Okay, dear. I mean, Shannon, you didn't lose much. Okay, back to Tamra, and you know, fun. It's 4:45 in the morning, and she's taking Eddie to the hospital to have surgery. Then we catch back up with her 6 hours later, and she's meeting Ryan at a coffee shop, and he's asking how did it go, and she said, well, the good part is that it's over, but the bad part, and then she's getting all teary and her lip is shaking, and she said that I guess they fixed the AFib that they knew about, but once they were in there, they saw that there were other places too. I don't understand AFib. I don't exactly know what it is. I only know from Tamra, who isn't explaining it very well. It's sort of a, you know, a short in the electrical system of your heart there. And I know that his heart was racing when it shouldn't have been. He could barely make it up a flight of stairs without his heart pounding, that kind of thing. So the problem is it sounds like they're pretty sure it's just going to come back. While she's explaining it to Ryan, Vicky calls her to ask how it went and how she's doing, and is there anything I can do for you? Can I get you a juice? Which Ryan's listening to it and he's like a juice? Then, and I don't know if this is foreshadowing or not, but then Tamra looks down and she goes, yeah, I haven't heard from Shannon. Gulp. I don't know. Trouble in Paradise for those two? We haven't seen it yet, but you know, who knows? I'm very hypersensitive to that with the Carol and Bethany thing going on. Best friends now having a big fight, so we'll see. So Kelly and Jolie meet Vicky at a restaurant for dinner, and right away, Vicky, have you talked to Shannon? Did you know David's dating a 34-year-old? And okay, Vicky, you're trying to build your friendship back with Shannon. I don't know that you need to keep announcing the news that David is now dating a 34-year-old. I don't think it's your job to broadcast that. You know, Shannon's your friend. Maybe let her tell that story. Just a thought. So anyway, they were talking about the David starting to date again, and Kelly, dude, I wish Michael would start dating again. That'd be great. I would love it if he would start dating. Oh God, Kelly. She cracks me up. Then Kelly suggests, you know what the four of us need? We need to go on a ropes course. We're building trust with each other again, and I think that'd be perfect for you and me and Shannon and Tamra. So I guess Vicky agrees to that because it does happen later. Okay, now we are introduced to Emily, and she is one of the two new housewives. The other one, I think her name is Gina, but I can't remember. We didn't even see her at all this episode. So anyway, this one is Emily, and she is apparently a former friend of Tamra, and she's meeting Tamra to go hike in the mountains. I guess what the deal is that for Emily's 40th birthday party, she invited Ricky, and we know Ricky as the obnoxious ex-friend of Tamra who was instigating or started the whole rumor about Eddie being gay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ricky claims that he actually saw Eddie making out with some guy. I think. I will have to go back to last season and check that out for sure, but yeah. So when Emily invited this Ricky to her party, that sort of severed things with her and Tamra. And now they're trying to build their friendship again. She said she was sorry. She didn't even really understand what was going on between the two of them. And I guess they're good. I mean, I think they're getting over it, or they have gotten over it. So then we get a little glimpse into Emily's life at home. We're in her house. It looks beautiful, big. She's got a lot of chaos going on. She's got a 5-year-old girl who she calls feral, and 2 3-year-old boys who actually seem feral to me. kidding. But they're rambunctious and there's a lot of craziness going on and probably not a lot of discipline. We find out that Emily is an attorney. Well, she says she's an attorney by day and a party planner by night. I don't know if she means just for her friends or if she is actually truly like a party planner. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's what she means. I think she just like does it for friends. So the kids are running around. It's crazy. They don't seem to be listening to her. She's making dinner. And then this boy walks in. At least I thought it was a boy. He's wearing jeans and like a backpack and he's carrying a sack lunch and he walks in the kitchen and I thought maybe this is a child from a previous marriage. I don't know. No, it's her husband, Shane. Now, upon closer examination, I can see that he's older, but he is also an attorney. I don't know where he was coming from because it didn't look like he was coming from the office, but then we get this bizarre backstory. They met, I think, at a law firm. I think they worked together, or they met in law school. I can't remember exactly. But she said they were friends for 3 years. And then one day he texted her, or I feel like she said it was like a Google chat. And he texted, "Do you want to get married?" And she said, "You know, I don't know. I didn't have anything else to do." So I said yes. And then a couple weeks later, they got married. I don't know. I know she's probably exaggerating all that. They seem good together, and I actually think I might like her. I think she might have a good sense of humor. Of course, the jury's still out because I don't know that much about her, but I think I might actually like her. What do you guys think? I'm going to leave a poll question up here. What is your first impression of Emily? Do you think you're going to like her, or do you think you're going to hate her? I'm going to put that question up there. Okay, now we have a scene at Shannon's house and Tamra comes over and they're sitting on the couch talking, and it takes about 2 seconds for Shannon to dissolve into tears again because, you know, she's doing so good. New attitude. I'm not criticizing her. I'm not saying you should get over a 17-year marriage overnight. I'm just making fun of how she keeps acting like, I'm all good, I'm all good. She said, you know, I just can't believe that you're married to somebody for 17 years and 3 months after you break up, he's already dating somebody else. I don't know how he can do that. Okay, you guys know what I'm gonna say. Tamra, such a good friend. Tamra says to her, he's been commenting on her Instagram since last October. Yeah. Shannon's face was like, I mean, she was stunned. That was when they were still married. Then she gets real quiet and she's like, it doesn't matter. It's okay. I wouldn't put it past him. Oh, it was heartbreaking and funny at the same time. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, Tamra notices that Shannon is still wearing her wedding ring. Now, Shannon's got this whole big excuse about how it defines her. It defines her as a wife and mother, and that's what it means. It's not about her marriage. It's about her as the kind of woman she is, a wife and a mother. Okay, you're not a wife anymore. Sorry to tell you that. And the wedding ring doesn't mean you're a mother, so you gotta take it off. Tamra talks her into taking it off. And she can't get it off, and they go over to the sink, and they've got dish soap on it, and she's pulling and pulling, and oh my God, she does this horrible thing where she's digs her nails into it and like is pulling it straight off. Dude, twist it. Everybody knows when a ring is tight, you twist it off. Use butter or oil or something and twist it off. No, she's yanking it straight out. First, she's got Tamra doing it, and Tamra's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to hurt you. And she's like, I don't care. Break my knuckle. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Then she like is crying because it really is hurting. But when she's doing it herself and she like yanking it straight off and she does finally get it off, It sounds like she cracked, like she broke her finger to get it off. I know that's not what it was. I think it was her nails, the sound her nails were making on it. But, ew. Anyway, she got the damn thing off, finally. Now go sell it, because that thing looked huge. Okay, guys, it's time for the ropes course. They all meet somewhere in separate cars. And when Shannon gets out of her car, she's already wearing a helmet and it's got like stickers on it. It's cute. She's kind of her old funny, fun Shannon. And they are laughing and hooting and hollering. The four of them all get in Kelly's car and Kelly's driving and they're having a blast. Vicky's laughing and making fun of Kelly, saying she's having sex all the time. And she goes, "What? I'm not having a lot of sex. What's a lot?" And Shannon said, "Well, once would be a lot for me." So they're just having a great time, and then they get to the ropes course. Oh, side note, Kelly's leggings are like half Pippi Longstocking and half Popeye, and I just had to mention it because they were different and I loved them. Okay, so now all the ladies are being helped into harnesses, and Vicky misses the picnic bench. She goes to sit down as she's trying to get this harness on, and she misses the picnic bench so that like only half of her butt makes it, and she promptly rolls over and falls onto the grass. Her sunglasses are askew. If you guys saw it, you know how funny it was. If you didn't see it, you gotta go watch that, but it was hilarious. And then she pops her head up and she says to the poor guy who was helping her, "You pushed me." And he's like, "No, I didn't." Oh, God. They go up in twos, and first it's Shannon and Tamra that go up this, like, climb this rope thing and get to a platform, and then they are to wait for the other two to come. And so while they're up there, Shannon, of course, doesn't have the strength to do it, and Kelly's down there going, "Come on, Shannon, you can do it. Use your core." And Shannon's yelling down, "I don't have a core." Then Vicky and Kelly meet them up there. So now the four of them are up, and then two at a time they're crossing certain bridges and stuff like that. Well, I mean, Shannon is a wreck. She's scared to death and of heights, and it's wobbly, and she said, "I don't have the upper arm strength to do this." She's got to hold on to this wobbly bridge she has to go across, and she's like crying. "I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I'm fine." So Kelly actually shouts something that seems to work with Shannon, because she said, "Come on, Shannon, you can do it. You've been through worse than this. Come on, show your daughters you can do this." Shannon's up there and she goes, "You know what, Kelly, you're right." And that's kind of changed things for her a little bit. I mean, she was still scared, but like she moved forward, got through that. Okay, then we get to this scene that I had to like stop the show because I like had to catch my breath. I couldn't stop laughing. So Vicky is behind Shannon on the course, and Shannon is telling Vicky, "Just put your foot here and you got to stand up on this platform. You can do, you know, come on." And so she does it, and she gets up there, and then whatever Vicky's holding on to with her hands, Shannon goes up higher, and I'm not sure exactly how this all, what happened exactly, but Shannon steps on some kind of a rope that when she puts her weight on it, it tightens up the rope that is the one that Vicky's holding on to. And so Vicky's hand is in there, and it gets real tight on her hand. And Vicky screams, "Shannon, get off, you're pinching my fingers." And then you look up and Shannon's up there. Shannon's crying. I don't think she knows how to get off of it, or, oh my God. It was so funny. I don't know if she does it or if Tamra like manages to get Vicky's hand out of it. And then Vicky's got her hand like a claw now. And she's like, she's like showing it to Tamra. Oh my God. Only these ladies. So they move on. They finally get to the point where now at the very end, they're up on this high little platform and they have to zip line from there to the ground and they're done. Oh, but before that, now Vicky is in the middle of one of the bridges and this big gust of wind kicks up. She's crying again and screaming. It's getting windy. Oh my God. It's just so much drama for a ropes course. Now they're on this platform and the first one to go down is Kelly, and she's yelling to the guy, how am I supposed to get off? And he goes, sit down and then jump off. And so she sits down and she's telling Tamra, push me off. She couldn't do it herself for some reason. So Tamra gives her a shove and she goes flying so fast that now the others are scared. For some reason, Shannon is the next to do it. I don't know why. Probably because they thought, I can't leave Vicky and Shannon up there alone. So Tamra was really helping everybody else. So now Shannon sits there. She sits down on the platform and she says, what if I let go of the rope? And she's like, you're going to be fine. You're not going to let go of the rope. And she says to Tamra, tell my kids I love them. She goes, okay, I will. I'll tell David to F off and I'll tell your kids you love them. And then she pushes her off and she like drops like a stone and goes flying. It was a rough ride for Shannon. She's now sailing across this zip line backwards. It was funny. So she finally gets down and Kelly goes, you did it. Isn't that great? Don't you feel good? And she's like, like she was still suffering from shock. I don't know if she was glad she did it or not. And then Vicky goes down next. Hers seemed like she was kind of bouncing a lot. And then Tamra went down last and she was fine. So now that everybody's down, Tamra and Vicky are kind of talking about, you know, their friendship and trust issues and stuff like that and how they're going to work on it. They thought this was a good exercise for everybody. I don't know. I don't know if Shannon thinks it was a good exercise. But they talk about rebuilding their friendship, all of them. And then they go to sit down at this picnic table to have lunch, which this just seemed odd to me because there's 4 of them and there were about 10 boxed lunches on that table. So I don't know who was eating what or how much or what was in there, but that seemed a little strange to me. Anyway, that is where this episode ends. I'm looking forward to the rest of season 13. I hope you guys are too. I hope you liked this recap. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you. And as always, if you have not yet subscribed to Jill Informed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that subscribe button. All right, thank you so much. I will be back here next Monday and every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time to recap the next Real Housewives of Orange County. I definitely hope you will join me. See you then. Bye-bye.